Hi everyone, today I wanted to make a video to show off this new keyboard I just got. This is a GK61, which is one of the hottest budget mechanical keyboards right now. I'm really excited that I get to make this video because a lot of people requested it, and it wouldn't be possible without banggoods.com, who sent me this keyboard. So while I did get this keyboard for free, and it is in collaboration with Banggood, of course I'll be giving my own opinion on this keyboard. So I haven't even done a single race on it, so this is going to be the very first one. Hopefully I don't mess it up. So I chose to get Gateron Silver in this keyboard just because I was interested in trying out a light linear switch and I never tried them before. Okay, here we go. This will take some getting used to. That's pretty low for me, but kind of expected with a new keyboard. I normally don't use linear switches, but I just wanted to try these. It felt pretty good though, it's pretty snappy. I might just need to slow down for a little while. We'll do another one real quick and then I'll do a little bit of practicing off camera. Racing my mom, can't lose to her. Yeah, so not very good races, but don't let that scare you away. I like the feeling. It'll just take me a little while to get used to it. At least I beat my mom. Alright, I've had a couple hours to play with this keyboard, and luckily I'm doing much better than I was at first. I'll be honest, after those first two races I was getting a little bit worried, but these Gateron Silvers are just more of a jump from most mechanical key switches, and I needed to adjust my typing style a little bit, which wasn't too hard, but it was just making that conscious adjustment. I'll talk more specifically about the GK61 in a minute, but first I'd just like to briefly talk about Gateron Silvers. If you're more interested in the keyboard itself rather than the switches, then there are timestamps in the description. The first thing I noticed with these Gateron Silvers is accuracy is difficult. Because of the 1.1mm actuation point as opposed to the standard 2, it's very easy to press a character that you don't mean to press. As a result of this, you both need to type with a light style, while also being deliberate with each key you press. And while this is difficult at first, I found myself adjusting after about an hour or two of use. The other thing I struggled with was double tapping characters. So like with the word follow that has two L's in the middle, sometimes I would only hit the L once, and sometimes I would hit it 3 times. But take this with a grain of salt because I'm still really getting used to the switches. So overall, I'd say that I'm really pleasantly surprised with the Gateron Silver switches. They're really a lot of fun to use. However, I would really not recommend them for most people, especially if this is your first mechanical keyboard. I naturally have a pretty precise typing style, so I think they fit me pretty well, but I could see for most people they would be frustrating to use. Now I'd like to talk a little bit more specifically about the GK61. I'm pretty blown away by this keyboard. When I was getting it, I was like, okay, this is a $55 budget mechanical keyboard. Maybe it'll work, but no, this works just as well as anything I've ever tried. And in fact, I've been really down on 60% keyboards up to this point just because I find them very hard to use without the designated volume keys, etc., and especially without the delete key. But this keycap set is really a game changer. It's so easy to use, like the arrow keys and the volume and the delete key and everything like that. So that's just been awesome for me. And that's not to say that these functions aren't available on every single 60% keyboard out there, but the thing with this is it just took away the learning curve. You know, when I have a bunch of 60% keyboards, it's really hard for me to learn where the delete key, for example, is on each of them. And with this one, it's just nice to have it clearly labeled. I know it's probably pretty silly to get this excited about the keycap labels, but it really does make a big difference. While you're sacrificing the aesthetic of either blank keycaps or, you know, just simply labeled ones, it really is so much easier to use, and I think a lot of people might underestimate how hard it is to learn to use a 60% keyboard. Another great thing about this keyboard is it's hot swappable, and basically what that means is you can just pull out the switches and put in different ones. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes to do, so it's a little bit of a pain, but it's way cheaper than getting 2 different keyboards with different sets of switches. And it's also really difficult to figure out what type of switch you'll like if this is your first mechanical keyboard, or if you just don't really know what you want. So this is really a cost-effective way to try out different switches. Having said that, I'd recommend the brown switches for most people if you're not familiar with keyboard switches. Basically, they'll have a little bit of a bump in them, which is, I think, what most people expect from a mechanical keyboard. I like linear options too, which in this case are the black, silver, yellow, and red switches, but I think most people would just prefer to have a bump in their keyboard. But of course, you know what you want better than I do. Blue switches are just really, really loud. If you have a roommate, I'd stay away from them, but if you just want a big click in your keyboard, I won't judge you. I know I've been praising this keyboard a lot, which it does deserve, but there is one thing that I'm not so impressed with, and that's the software. It's easy enough to navigate through the built-in options both for lighting and macros, but I wasn't really able to make my own settings, which wasn't important to me. I normally just have the lights off anyway, but if that's something that you're interested in doing, you'll definitely need to take some time to research how to take care of that. But speaking of the lighting, it is pretty nice, and it's really easy to switch between a bunch of different settings. There's a bunch of different light levels, so that's nice if you want them dim or you want them really bright. But overall, I think that the lighting quality is pretty good and they shine through the caps nicely. Alright, now it's time for my favorite part of any keyboard review I watch. I'm going to cut the music and shut up and just do a quick 30-second typing test so you can hear what the keyboard sounds like. This will vary by whichever switch you get, but it'll give you a general idea. I don't know if other people enjoy that as much as I do, but I think that sounds really nice. I was also happy to hit 208 words per minute for 30 seconds. 30-second tests are much easier than 1-minute tests, but this was my first day using it and it was faster than my 1-minute personal best, so it'll definitely be worth continuing to use this keyboard to see if I grow into it more. This keyboard has really reignited the spark I once had for 60% keyboards, and it's just nice to know that there are cheap options that work really, really well, and really as well as anything you'll find. So if you're looking to get a first mechanical keyboard, or you just want to try out some more types of switches, definitely consider the GK61. If you'd like to buy this keyboard, I've left a link in the description to where you can do that. Banggood pretty much has this keyboard for cheaper than anywhere I've seen. In addition, this is an affiliate link, which means I'll earn a small commission if you order from it. So if you'd like to both get a keyboard and support this channel and me, it would really mean a lot if you ordered from that link. So that's pretty much all I have to say, so thank you very much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe if you found this helpful.